The Kamala media blackout would be amazing if she weren't running for president. I've never in my life seen the mainstream media cape so hard for an individual. I've never seen them spewing the same talking points so much and lies so much for a person that really don't deserve it. Like, how did she go from one of the worst vice presidents in history? Not my opinion. This is what the poll showed. She polled the worst of any vice president in history, and now the running for president of the United States on a Democrat ticket. That is amazing to me, and the media continue to cape for her. They won't challenge her. They won't ask her any questions. She's running away from questions, but they won't ask the question, why is she running away? We all know why she's running away, because if she start talking, the people are gonna the honeymoon phase is gonna be over, and people are gonna realize how idiotic she really is. So the media is caping for her. They're not asking tough questions. They're not asking why she's hiding, and it's despicable. So we're gonna talk a little bit about it, but before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. Also, follow me on X. I post bunch of news throughout the day there as well. All right, so let's talk about this news now. This comes from the Federalist, from David Harsanyi. He reports that Operation Harris for President is one of the saddest in media history. And I agree. I've never seen anything like it. My years of studying the mainstream media and talking about them, I've never seen them cape so hard. But the past month has likely been the most eventful in American political history. Yet the two top officials of the most powerful nation in the world won't answer any genuine questions. 3 weeks have passed since Joe Biden was pushed out of the 2024 presidential race over deteriorating physical and mental abilities, and he has yet to publicly clarify with any specificity why he took this unprecedented step, or why, if he's incapable of campaigning for the presidency, he's fit to serve out his term in the White House. And that's why he hasn't come out, because if he comes out and admit that he can't run for he can't make it these past few months to run for president, then he would have to step aside, and that would be embarrassing for the Democrat Party. I think that's what's going on there. But then again, not one journalist in the corporate or legacy media has explained how Biden's obvious senility, struggle reading today, could turn from a democracy corroding MAGA misinformation operation into an accepted reality in a single day. The 180 is incredible. If they were fooled for 3 years, how can we trust them? If they weren't fooled, then they didn't tell us. How can we trust them? That's right. Either way, we can't trust them. Well, we can't because they're back at it. They're back at it. The Democrats' new presidential candidate, who never won a single primary vote, which is incredible, might have been crowned but hasn't given a real interview or even an extemporaneous political statement since Democrat bigwigs pushed Biden aside. In a functional liberal republic, this would be pretty big news. The last time the Vice President of the United States had a press conference was December 2023. Wow. The last time sat down with any media was June 24th, when she was interviewed by the sycophants on MSNBC's Morning Joe. Before that, it was Kamala Harris' interview with Drew Barrymore, which might be the most cringe-worthy display of fawning in recorded history. It was disgusting. How can anyone look at that? And the thing, like, she was holding Camilla's hand and like looking in her eyes and trying to look all serious and stuff, but it just, all of that stuff comes off as disingenuous. Quote, what is the incentive for her to take more questions? A person close to Harris's campaign told Politico recently. She's getting out exactly the message she wants to get out. Indeed, it's quite a paradox. The media continue to baby Kamala and get her message out to the public, so Kamala doesn't feel the least bit of urgency in clarifying her record. If they were so inclined, the navel-gazing media could probably get Kamala out of her shell by doing some honest deep dive into her history and positions. If her lack of transparency were a daily top of the fold story, she would be compelled to speak. Say what you want about Donald Trump, but he's done scores of interviews and pressers over the past few months, many of them with antagonistic venues, including taking questions at the National Association of Black Journalists convention just weeks after surviving an assassination attempt. Do you think Kamala Harris would do something like that? Of course not. Kamala hasn't spoken to a hostile outlet in years. She won't even take questions from her fans. Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, is compelled to answer questions about a throwaway comment he made on a podcast before he was even in the Senate. Kamala just sends her minions to walk back the majority of policy decisions that would fundamentally affect every American. She staked out the radical positions only a few years earlier while running for the same office. Kamala isn't translating her views for a general election. She is effectively negating an entire political history through press releases. Kamala, for instance, says she no longer supports banning all air travel. Yeah, right. Meat and combustible engines. Just all of a sudden she do a total 180 just because she happened to be running for president, right? That's nice. Kamala says she's no longer believes in decriminalizing illegal border crossings. Good. The media treat her new claims as indisputable. No questions asked, no explanations given. No one asked, like, okay, why the change of heart? The mainstream media refused to ask questions like that. And is Kamala still going to try to ban semi-auto rifles through an executive order? Does she believe all Americans should, quote, end up in the same place, no matter how hard they work? Does she support defunding the police? We have no clue. Most of the media hackery is driven by partisanship. Some of it is also driven by access. There are practical concerns for journalists. Any reporter who truly challenges Kamala are sure to find themselves on the outs. This is why we need a press, not just an outlet to take their professional responsibility seriously, because right now they don't. Instead, the same people who gaslit the nation, concealing the brittle state of the president for years, not just an abdication of their profession, but of their responsibility as citizens, are now ensuring that voters won't be subjected to Kamala's swirling, mind-bending tautologies and nonsensical stories. And I thank them for it if she weren't running for president. It's scary. We don't have a media that we can trust. A mainstream media, I should say, that we can trust. That's why we have a bunch of citizen journalists like myself that goes in and find the real information and the real data and try to give it to you so you can make your own informed decisions. But y'all, let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.